All right, guys, welcome to tonight's call. Welcome to our Summit recap, Summit 2016. If you were there, you know what an awesome experience this was. It was a pretty amazing experience. If you weren't there, like I said, have your pens and paper ready and get ready to take lots of notes. And also, I hope that you have plans on coming next year to New Orleans in 2017. On that note, 2017 tickets, the sale price on them ends tonight. It ends tonight. So do yourself a favor, commit now to being there next year. Commit to yourself, commit to your business, and get yourself a ticket. If you're truly worried that a year from now you don't know that you can make it, they are offering for a little bit more a transferable ticket. So you do have that option. Like I know for myself, I purchased a regular ticket. For Anthony, I purchased him a transferable just in case. All right, so let's go down everything that the big announcements that they went over. And these all took place in such an exciting way in Nissan Stadium. Let me say, when Beachbody does things, they do it great, and they make these announcements so excited. So for the first one I want to talk about is the Health Bet Challenge. I posted a video on our team page, so go and take a look at it. It's really awesome. It's a great way to get not only us coaches, but our challengers using the new Challenge Group app. So if you're like me and you haven't used it yet, this is the time to use it. This is like, hey, it's time to start using this thing. They are going to start with $1 million, and for every challenge pack sold through August, they're going to add another $5 to this pool, and capping it out at $3 million. Every single person that takes part in this Health Bet Challenge and that gets onto that app and they log in, there are 3 workouts a week and 5 shakes drank during the week. They are going to be part of this pool, and they will get a check from Beachbody. And I think it was like Jeff or Michael said, maybe it'll be for $5, or maybe only a couple people will do it and they'll get some massive check. Wouldn't that be funny? Wouldn't that be crazy? But everybody will get a piece. So get your challengers involved, get your coaches involved, get your teams involved. Make sure you have a Health Bet Challenge group going in September. Another thing that they were very forceful about, and this goes with the Health Bet Challenge, is they want everybody to commit now, to commit right now to doing a program from start to finish, especially if you have never committed and put out there day 1 to day 30, day 1 to day 90, whatever program you're going to choose to pick. Commit right now, today, to completing a program, and not only completing a program, but sharing your journey, sharing everything that's going on, you know, every Monday or every Friday or whatever day of the week you want to, post pictures, post changes, whether they be mental or physical. Share your journey on this and commit to this program, and commit to it publicly on your Facebook page. When I was at Summit, I picked up Country Heat and I made a video and I put it out there. I said, I am committing to this program. If you know me or follow me at all, you know that I am horrendous at following through with programs. I wake up and decide I feel like doing cardio and go from hammer and chisel to size. Like, that's just me. So I am taking this and I am committing to it, and I've put it out there publicly, and I will be sharing my journey. So give people something to follow, especially if you've never done something like that before. Programs coming out. Core de Force. Did you guys watch the video if you weren't there in the team page? I don't know about you, but I am obsessed with combat style anything. So this is a workout that's exciting for me. It launches in November. It's with Joel and Jericho, who you probably might remember. Well, if you ever did Les Mills, you know from Les Mills. And this is going to be an on-demand program. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it seems like they're really going full throttle on demand. I don't even think there's going to be DVDs being put out soon, if you ask me, because I mean, everything they're launching now seems to be on demand. The next program that is coming out is the 3-week yoga retreat. Again, I posted the video in our team page about that. It's not going to be for your yogis. It's going to be for your beginners, the people that are too scared to go take a class, too scared to try something because they've never tried yoga before. it's that's the type of person it's for. It's going to be a great kind of gateway program. And the most amazing thing about this is it's 3 weeks. It's on demand. If they've never signed up for on demand, they can do this program start to finish for free with the 30-day Beachbody trial. For free, completely, start to finish day 1 to day 21. And then they get to move on to another program. So it's a great, great, great way to get people involved with Beachbody, especially if price is the option. And the other 2 big things they announced, which one, they're interesting. One I think is phenomenal. They're going to be having a reality show to find the next big trainer. I think this one should be a little interesting, a little funny. I don't know, kind of dramatic. It's like Big Brother style. They're throwing all these 20-something-year-old trainers in a house, and they're going to be following them around. It's called the 20s. Everybody is in their 20s. I'm waiting for when they launch the 40s. Maureen and I already decided we're going to start training. So in 2 years, when we turn 40, we're going to be on that show. But anyway, back to this one. It's the 20s. They're going to be fighting for a spot to be the next Shaun T, to be the next Autumn. And that's going to be on Beachbody On Demand. They're also going to play it once, or I don't know, a couple times maybe on a cable. I think it was the TV Guide channel. I don't even know. And then clue people in to go to Beachbody On Demand to watch the rest. The big one I thought was Fixate, weekly cooking show with Autumn Calabrese and her brother, who is a chef. They're going to be doing new recipes every single week, as well as other stuff. I think Autumn said she was going to basically teach you how to clean out and stock your pantry, your refrigerator, and stuff like that. So I think that is going to be a great thing to talk about, to share. I mean, we all know how amazing her recipes are, and if you follow her, you've noticed that she's been doing stuff like this. She's been doing recipes, so I think that we should have seen this coming, but I think it's going to be phenomenal. All right, so I am, Christy's telling me I only have 3 minutes left. All right, so I was supposed to talk tonight about leadership and what I learned from that. Like I said, I just landed. We just got home. I've only been home for 2 hours. I have 3 minutes, so I really just want to talk about what affected me, what hit me, my biggest takeaway from Summit. And my biggest takeaway was from so many of the speakers. I felt like it stood out every time I heard it. It was like a gut check for me. And it was do the work harder, and work smarter, and be consistent about it. And Gary Vee, the keynote speaker, talked about it a lot. And so did a lot of the breakout speakers. And it hit home with me because when I came home last Summit, the day after I came home, I found out I was pregnant. I was sick. I lost my momentum. I never got it back. It's just like working out. Working this business is just like fitness. Once you lose your momentum, it's really friggin' hard to get it back. And I didn't even make an effort to really get it back. I haven't been working hard. I haven't been working smart. I haven't been doing the work. I haven't been consistent. So that was a gut check for me. I can't be mad at the results that I haven't gotten over the past year, the lack of Reich Advance, the lack of business growth, the lack of team growth, for the work that I did not do. And I wasn't consistent about. So that was my big takeaway. It's that I need to go back to being the consistent person that I was. And when I say do the work and work hard, I don't mean that you need to be working 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 40 hours a week. For 3 years, I consistently built this business at a part-time, as a part-time job, as a couple hours a day, and third in rank after being a mom and being a wife. Then I was a Beachbody coach. But I did it. I did it consistently. I worked smart, and I worked hard during those 3 hours. And that is something that I have not done over the last year. And everything's flatlined. When I was doing the work and I was doing it consistently, everything consistently grew. And I saw results for what I did. And that has and I'm seeing the results for the lack of consistency over the last year. So I heard it over and over and over again while I was at Summit. Like, be consistent, do the work, stop making the excuses, don't lose the momentum, and just work smarter. And as Melanie Mitchell said, outwork the competition. And that's what you got to do. You don't have to be better than anyone else. You don't have to do more or come up with greater ideas than anyone else. You have to just work smart and outwork the competition. So that was my biggest takeaway. And I'm also committing and promising to you guys to take the momentum that I have gotten at Summit and to ride with it and to not lose it and to not slack and to not go back to where I was prior to Summit. So that's what I have to say. And I'm looking forward to the rest of this call and hearing from everybody else. I hope I didn't go over my time, Christy. Okay, Leslie, you're up.
Hey, everybody. So the workshop that really spoke to me was Brittany Leggett's and Summer Tucker's talk about finding your passion and finding your true north. And so one of the things that they talked about was, you know, that idea of if you want something different, you have to do something different. We hear that a lot in our different workouts, but there was a quote that they said that really stuck out to me: dissatisfaction breeds fear, fear breeds excuses. And so figuring out what you want your legacy to be, and this is something that I think is so applicable not only to the business, but what we want to do with our families and with the other people that we impact in our communities. And the thing that they kept repeating is, you know, Beachbody is our vessel to leave an imprint in some way. And they asked the question, you know, 15 years from now, when you take your last breath, what would someone say about you? So what do you want your legacy to be? And they focused a lot on your why and what drives you to help others, what drives you in your business, and looking at, if you don't know your priorities, you don't really know what it is that you're fighting for. So if you don't know what's driving you, then you're not going to be able to get to the places that you want to go to. Brittany talked a lot about setting yourself up to know where you want to go before you get there. She talked about visualization and really kind of giving herself some future positive affirmations. So if she wasn't feeling happy, saying, I feel happy, I feel strong, I feel confident, and really looking forward into the future and visualizing herself there even when she really wasn't there internally. And it helped her get through, I think, a couple of different things, not only in the business, but in her life. And so that really spoke to me, just that idea of recognizing how important it is to look forward into the future and to your goals. And Summer talked about that a lot as well. Identify the key parts of your why, and look 5 or more words that describe how you're feeling as you live out your why. Creating your statements, allowing your satisfaction to come from your work ethic and not results. So not focusing on your results as much as I know I do. Did I hit Success Club? No. Okay, well, I suck. Well, I can't have that attitude. Look at the people that I did help. Look at the challengers that I am assisting that have previously bought something. And recognizing that you can be prepared for setbacks. They don't have to completely derail you. Sorry, I keep looking at this time because I'm paranoid about it. So Summer also talked about how your true north really applies to everything. So pick your priorities and choose 3 to 4 things that fill that up, and the importance of being consistent in any way, shape, or form. What small adjustments do you need to keep yourself on track to make sure that you are guided back to, what your end goal is? And they hammered that in about consistency. Consistency makes you good. Humility makes you great. That idea of staying teachable and staying flexible being open to the ideas of others. They also talked about how you get people on the rooftop with you and how you make the different connections and excuse me, and keep them throughout your business, and not just selling something to someone and then dropping off. Really committing to service with one another. The importance of leaning into your discomfort and leaning into your story and using that as your message. So that's it.
Okay, I hope that you all can hear me. Let me know, Christy, if it keeps telling me that my internet connection is unstable and I have no idea why. So anyway, so the main thing that I want to talk about was living your truth and using that in your business. This really spoke to me during Sean T's talk. He was talking about truth, trust, and transparency. And, something for me that I think we probably all struggle with as Beachbody coaches is, you begin, typically most of us, for the weight loss. And so then you start to get more physically confident with your body and you think, oh, okay, this is awesome. And then all of a sudden you start to backslide for whatever reason, you hit your maintenance weight or things like that. And I started to place all of my value on that and all of my progress on that. And he started talking about owning your truth and what is your actual truth. Once I became more active in my coaching, I really started to think, oh, okay, well now I can't miss a workout ever. I can't eat cake. I can't enjoy myself. I can't drink wine. I can't do any of these things because now I'm a Beachbody coach and I have to be perfect. And if I don't, in my business, if I don't put that out in the world, then I'm not going to be a good Beachbody coach. And he said a lot of things, especially talking about his history with abuse, because I have a history with abuse, that really spoke to me, about living your truth. Who I am is what makes me a coach. Who I am is what makes me the best coach I can be. It's the reason that I love my coach. It's the reason that people come to me. It's not because I'm perfect. It's because I'm absolutely real. And because I am who I am, I'm unique. And something they talked about, ingredient, Chalene Johnson talked about that a lot. You're the unique ingredient. And, it got to the point where I was even during Summit finding myself typing a post about how much fun we were having and thinking, oh, who's going to judge me for this? Because I'm a Beachbody coach and I don't know anything about fitness. I just thought, no, I'm excited about this business. I'm passionate about this business. I'm passionate about the people in it. I have got to stop being afraid of that. And so it really made me want to take it by the reins and say, you know what? This is who I am. This is what I love to do. I love helping people, and I don't need anyone else to believe in it because I believe in it. And I have a team full of people who believe in it with me. He talked about you have to know your history to know where you're going. And that really spoke to me as well. He said, listen to the soundtrack of your life and reflect. Is it all true? How much of it are you putting on yourself? How much of it is actually real? I get so scared about talking about my struggles in coaching and on my fitness page and things like that. And I struggle with anxiety and I struggle with depression and all these things. I don't want to talk about it because I'm afraid to. That's what is going to help me reach people. So why would I be scared of that? So we have to, take those parts of ourselves that are kind of ugly and scary and uncomfortable, and we have to share them with people because that's what's going to help them. So much of what we start our journey about is, the physical aspects, and that's great. But that's just temporary. That's not going to last very long. Eventually you will hit your goal weight. And what are you going to do after that? And how are you going to reach people? It's so much more than that. He talked about, he said vulnerability is the spring of life. And that really spoke to me because I don't know very many people that enjoy being vulnerable, but especially, reaching people in our business, they don't want someone who's perfect. They want someone who's honest and who shares every part of themselves. And, I think recently the reason I've been in a slump with reaching people is that I'm just afraid to talk about that. It's not comfortable. It's not easy, but, someone went out of their way to share that with me. And now the people on my team share that with me. And over the course of a few days, people I had never met in person, they felt like some of my closest friends because we have been vulnerable with each other. Why would we keep that gift away from someone else? And why would we keep that from them and sharing it with them and making them the best that they can be? So, yeah, that's it.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. Can you see? Hang on. Can you see my screen? Did it share right?
Yes.
Oh, cool. So you see a slide there that says shifting your perspective?
I see a slide by using challenge groups.
Sweet. Okay. So I don't even know who this was because I don't remember. But it was the second day, and she gave some really great ideas, or they gave some really great ideas on how you can use your challenge groups to create a lifer and to shift your perspective overall on this whole business from being a salesperson and making a sale to creating relationships, right? We hear a lot. So this is, though, giving very tangible ways of doing that, which I thought was great. So using the challenge groups, one, I mean, even before you start anything, questions before programs. So if someone comes to you and says, I want the 21-day fix, it's always going back to, well, why, which we all know. We've all been trained really well on that. Some other tips, though, about using the actual challenge groups were to establish expectations. So when they go into the challenge group, for instance, I'll tell them, part of what you're committing to is to check in daily. So whatever your expectation is behind that challenger is what you should set up for a successful ride for them that month. Inform them they can win. I'm really bad at this. So this was great for me to hear again. So they can get a t-shirt, the Beachbody Challenge, they can win money. Let's use all of that stuff. So I plan to use that more going forward. Success buddies. So to even start creating or giving them a taste for this community and what it was like in Summit, which was incredible, by the way, of just turning around to anybody next to you and having a deep conversation out of nowhere and everyone being really nice and genuine. And so to start giving them a taste of that in these challenge groups and create success buddies. So for instance, an idea was, which I did today, which they loved, is tag a challenger. So as soon as you're done with your workout, tag a challenger. I thought that was great. Recognition Fridays. So we know the fourth vital is recognition. So she had put on her screen Rockstar Challenger every Friday to call out one or two challengers. I'm not good at that. So that hit home for me. And then you can always just keep providing value in those groups ongoing so they know what they can expect from you. Of course, the healthy recipes, the fitness facts, fit moves, things like that you can do. And then using Shakeology, because Shakeology, we all start off this business by being scared of it. And then as you use it, you grow and you get much more comfortable because you understand the value. So it's presenting that value in these groups. Have them watch the podcast towards the end of the group, the Darren O'Lean podcast, and give their top 3 takeaways. So I thought that was cool. Give Shakeology recipes. Tell your own Shakeology story. Highlight ingredients. And this one I'm just adding was because you know how you hear these talks and then some things just come to you. And this was shifting your perspective of Shakeology from something you're trying to sell them to a solution for them. It's an effective tool that'll help them keep up this lifestyle. And so it's shifting your perspective on Shakeology and what it is that provides for them. And that it's a lifestyle they can use, that it can help them long after the challenge group's over. So it's just another tool in their tool belt that will really help them. And then the performance line, don't shy away from the performance line, the fiber boost, all that stuff will be great to help create a relationship with them to understand what else they can use. Share the articles that are on teambeachbody.com. Add them to an ongoing family page. This is something Christy turned me on to, and is working really nicely. So if you create whatever your team name is, and then family, and then so they have an ongoing place to go to after your challenge group is over. Say they're not going to join another one right after. And in that place, you don't have to worry about selling them because they're already sold. So it's a great place to tell them about these announcements that came out and all these great things Beachbody's doing. Ask them to commit to their next program. So in that last week, ask them to commit. Present the coaching opportunity to them, of course. And it's a great time to have your coaching sneak peek or behind the scenes to enter them into after the challenge group. Suggest Beachbody Facebook pages for them to follow. That's a good one. And then Super Saturday, invite them to Super Saturday. Don't forget about your follow-up, and invite them to have a goal revision. You know, we talked to them about their goals at the beginning, but I can't see what you're saying, but I think I might be out of time. But ask them to revise their goals at the end. That's what I have. I hope that helps.
Maureen, you're up, my friend. Where's Miss Maureen? Oh, there she is. Maureen?
I had to unmute myself. I'm
okay,
sorry.
okay.
And I didn't know if you wanted me to wait until after she stopped the screen share. I don't know that I will take a full 15 minutes, which is probably great, right? Again,
I have 5, so that's perfect.
I have 5. Oh, okay. 5 minutes. Well, all right. The pressure's on. Much like Christine, I don't remember the gentleman's name who did this presentation, so I apologize for that. And I'm pretty sure I was holding Cora at this point, so I wasn't taking notes. But there was a few things that really resonated in my heart and soul when this gentleman was talking. And this was, I believe, day 2. So he was talking about our mindset of feeling like a salesman or a saleswoman, and that we're selling stuff and pushing these products onto our friends or our family or, you know, people that we come into contact with. And something that he said struck me so hardcore, which was, you know, we don't get pissed off at a furniture salesperson for trying to sell you a couch or trying to sell you a recliner. We don't get mad when we're going into an appliance store and the salesperson's trying to sell us a refrigerator. We just don't. They're not doing anything icky. They're doing their job. So Beachbody's mission statement, which I'm sure you all know, is to help people achieve their goals and enjoy healthy, fulfilling lives. And so how do we do that? Through sales. So if you could shift your mindset with the fact that, yes, you are selling something, and of course we're doing that via building relationships and forming and all of that. We're not just pushing products onto people. But to get away from the fact that it's icky, we're not doing anything that's icky. We are helping people achieve their goals, enjoy healthy and fulfilling lives. Same with Shakeology. Same with a program. You know, when you're talking to somebody and you're really figuring out what their goals are, to be able to say to them, you know what, let's start off slow and do something more like PIO before we get into an Insanity Max 30. And it's knowing your products, right? So knowing your products so that you can give off informed information and give it to them in a way that, yeah, you're selling, but you're going to help them achieve their goals so that they live these healthy and fulfilling lives. That's really all that I wanted to talk about. It's that shift in the mindset. And it struck with me because every once in a while I do get into this place where I feel like, you know, when you're trying to hit Success Club or you're trying to hit a goal or you're trying to do something, and like there's this piece of me that's like, oh God, like, you know, I'm like trying to sell shit. But you know what? I am. Because in order for me to help these people, I am selling them a product that I know works. And because of my forming and building of a relationship, I'm going to be able to sell them the best product that's going to work for them. And it's not icky. It all goes along with what they're asking of me and what my job is to do. So that's all I really wanted to say about that. I just thought it was really cool because as much as we're not supposed to go with that whole sales thing, he really brought a different perspective, which is, so what? Yeah, we are selling stuff. So what? There's nothing icky about doing your job. And no, I don't get mad at a furniture salesperson because they tried to sell me a recliner when I went in there for a recliner. So it's just about shifting your mindset and your focus just a tiny bit. about what we are doing. Yes, it's sales. There's no need to get upset about that or get sad about that. If you're forming and you're building relationships with people, it's not icky. So that's it. It was awesome. I wish you all could have been there at Summit. I love seeing everybody. If you don't have your ticket for next year, get it. That's all I got to say. Peace out.
All right. That was great, Maureen.
Nikki, unmute yourself.
Unmute myself. I don't know why it
There you go.
remuted. I clicked unmute. I don't know what happened. Anyway, I said I hope this works. I'm in the middle of a Walmart in Florida, so we're going to hope it works. Okay, so my thing I kind of developed in a Lyft on the way back to our hotel on Saturday after all of the workshops and sessions. And I decided to start calling it shedding your scapegoat. And I'm kind of running with this concept because it's been very epiphanatic, I'm going to call it that, for me the past few days. So it's this idea that, like, and it's repetitive of a lot of what we've heard already, that it starts with fitness, but that's not all it's about. And I mean, we know this, but sometimes we get kind of fixated on the concept that it's about selling this product, like Maureen was saying, and, you know, drink Shakeology, do this workout, everything's gonna be fine. But what I started to realize at Summit was that for me, and I know for a lot of people, I've let my body become my scapegoat, where I have put all of my issues. So I could just say, well, I'm overweight and I hate the way I look, so that's what my problem is. And then when I started Beachbody, that problem started to go away. And then I was like, oh, shit, like there are actual problems deeper down inside. And I was able to deal with it. So it's scary because, yeah, they came to the surface. But, and I'm going to use the phrase that was used earlier, lean into it, you know, lean into helping yourself dive into those. And so I noticed a lot of that happening at Summit, and a lot of what was being said really struck that chord of finding a strength within yourself, a confidence within yourself, finding your story, your truth, writing that story based on the truth. And by taking care of yourself, health-wise, fitness-wise, you're able to, I think, give yourself that permission and give yourself that you're saying, hey, guess what? I think that you're worth it, and I think you deserve that. And you're able to dive down on a deeper level and really connect with yourself. And by doing that, connect with others. So I think that that's something that can resonate both as a coach delivering to challengers of, you know, I'm not just trying to get you to do some burpees, but like I'm trying to give you something that can transfer into other areas of your life, but also for us as coaches, you know, to remember that every day in that personal development, that what we're doing is building us while we're building other people. So it's just this continuing full circle cycle that the longer we do it, the more it expands, and the more we get to reach that huge number of people who have not yet been reached. And I wanted to bring in just a quick story. Let me make sure. Okay. I wanted to bring up a quick story. Today, I'm at the beach, right? And I had decided I was going to wear a bikini this year, but then I got to this year and was like, I'm kidding. But then I was like, I found some of the high-waisted bikinis at Walmart, and I was like, why do I not want to wear one? Is it because you know, what's the real reason? So I got it, and I wore a bikini for the first time in my life today to the beach. And it's not because I'm a size 4. It's because I decided I was worth taking care of, and then was able to start, even without realizing it, dealing with all of those things, dealing with all the things I was projecting onto the world. You know, was able to say, like, that was me thinking that someone else was going to talk bad about me and I was going to hear it and I was going to cry for a day. It didn't happen. Like, I got to have a great day doing crazy things that scared me, and I touched a jellyfish, and like all these cool things happened today that I would never have done if it hadn't been for starting Beachbody. So did I get to a size 4 to wear a bikini? No, but this got to the place it needed to be, and it's going to keep getting there. And I say it literally every time I speak, but Leslie always tells me, she always tells us, you know, do it afraid. Do whatever it is that's scary. When you do it afraid, you get it done. And I think that's just kind of where you go from here. You do whatever it is in that moment of fear, and then what can you do? If you do what you're scared of, if you attack your scapegoat and get it out of the way, shed it, what is possible? So that's really all I had to say. Thank you for all the sweet comments.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. So my topic, or what I wanted to talk about, was how to coach your challengers for long-term success. One problem that I struggle with is keeping challengers involved after the challenge group or after they've done their program. And so this really spoke to me. The main points from this were, or the whole idea of this is to keep challengers engaged, empower future coaches, and inspire transformation. So I can't remember the lady's name, but this was also on the second day. It was my very last session. But she was saying to set expectations. And what she does is she requires her challengers to have something to her as a form of measurement, whether it's the number on the scale, your body measurements, or what she calls goodbye pictures instead of before pictures. And then she said, give the group mile markers, require check-ins. I'm sorry, I'm saying I'm a lot. And she's like, make them agree to plan. I'm sorry, I don't know what that note was, I'm sorry. Anyway, but she was also saying that when you notice that they're falling off from the challenge group, so like after 24 hours, if she doesn't see somebody post inside the challenge group, she will create a post and tag them. And then if they don't respond to that, it's friendly, it's not threatening, just open. She will, if they don't respond in 24 hours, she will follow up with either a voice message, an email, or like another way to get a hold of them that's not inside the challenge group. And then if another 24 hours goes by and she still hasn't heard from them, then she will just send an email and keep it open, just checking in and leading with love of what, wondering what's happened and just truly being concerned. The other thing that they emphasized is they had this whole car analogy or driving down the road, but they said you can't run on fumes, protect your time and energy. They really emphasize checking in with challenge groups only twice a day and to build communication guardrails. So if you're getting a lot of texts and PMs from your challengers, what she would say is, awesome question. Why don't you post that in the group so everybody else can see the answer? Or awesome idea. Why don't you post that in the group so everyone else in the group can benefit from it? If they were to text her a celebration, she would say, awesome, congratulations. Share it in the group so we all can celebrate. If they aren't engaging, she's really emphasized to realize that it's not you. It's probably something with them, and that's why it's important to reach out and to keep, connecting and keep the door open. And that was basically it in a nutshell. I know I went through it kind of fast, but we can go to the next person.
Okay, hey everyone. So I had the opportunity to get trained and get certified to teach PIO Live, and I signed up for it, and then it ended up being that that Shalene was there for the training. So it was really cool. And she spoke a lot about talking to like the students in your class, but it really struck home with me, and I thought that it could really be used towards talking to your challengers too, and talking to your customers in general. And one of her big takeaways was that your main goal is to make them feel comfortable and make them feel good about themselves, whatever that takes, and getting to know them and figuring out what makes them tick and how to motivate them like that. And she also encourages everyone to speak to them like they're already athletes, like they're fit already, not like they still have this journey to go on. And one big thing that, Shalene spoke a lot about, but that I also heard a lot throughout all of the sessions and that really struck home to me was, not trying to be anyone but you and being authentically you. And there was one quote, and I actually posted it, that really struck me. And it was, if you don't do you, then you don't get done and the world misses out. So do you. She spoke a lot about not exposing yourself to negativity, surrounding yourself with positivity, and, ignoring anyone who's negative. And also really figuring out what you're afraid of and stepping into that fear. Sort of that same concept of leaning in and, going after that fear and accomplishing it. One of the other things that I thought was great, that might help, and I can post this in the group too, but they had a really great explanation for PIO, which I thought was fun, and I plan on using. But they said, Shalene says that she describes PIO as an athletic, music-driven, restorative, high intensity, low impact, sexy boot camp on a mat, which I just thought was funny and a cute way to describe it to people. And sort of one last thing is, I had a very crazy trip home, and there was this one song that kept playing in the airport. And it's Katy Perry's new song, Rise. And I don't know if any of you have heard it, but one of the verses, which I'm going to leave you guys with, is, "Oh, ye of so little faith, don't doubt it, don't doubt it. Victory is in your veins, you know it, and you will not negotiate, just fight it, and be transformed." And it sort of just wrapped up my summit experience and made me want to come home and run with everything. So that's sort of all that I have.
Hey everybody, it was so awesome to see those of you that were at Summit, and anybody who wasn't, be there. Honestly, it's awesome. So what I want to talk about is the mentality of a coach versus a CEO of a company. And one of the biggest things that really struck me is we have coaches, and then we have the diamonds, and we have the uplines and everything. And it's really a mental shift of where you are. And it's okay if you want to be a coach. They really called the people who are coaches chronic coaches, and then you have the CEOs. And ultimately it comes down to, do you want to be working the business, or do you want to have a business that works for you, and how you're going to establish that with your business. They define a chronic coach as somebody who works on the fly. They're not focused. They're always working. They've always got their phone on them. And I realized that that is actually me. And I don't want to be that anymore. And it's okay if that's what you're going to do as coach, but if you really want to have a business that is going to go places, you really need to shift to a mindset of a CEO, which means you have focus. You have set business hours. When you are in your business hours, you're intense in what you're doing, but you're calm because you have a plan, you have a business model, you have no distractions. You're going to be building consistency. Consistency was a key idea that they talked about in every aspect, not just the business part, but your everything. When you're consistent in your business, you have consistent availability to your coaches, to your challengers, and what you're offering. If you say you're going to do a call on Monday night, you do a call on Monday night. If you have to switch it, you have to switch it, but you're consistent with that call. If you say you're going to do a sneak peek the third week of every month, you do one where whether you have 2 people in that group or 20 people in that group. That way your downline and all the other coaches on your team know that that's when it's coming and what you're going to do. And this focus mentality also comes through in other places, such as your story. With a coaching story, it's their transformation. It's your mental and physical transformation. What you're gaining is you're gaining your life back. You're gaining a new perspective on things. When you're the CEO, you're gaining freedom. You're gaining who you're working for, because you're not working for somebody else. You're working for yourself. You're working for other people, and you're working with the people that you want to work with. It's consistency through your why and the mentality there. The coach mentality is it's smaller. You're paying for your Shaco every month by helping those 3 people. You're helping 3 people. You're helping single people. You're helping 5 people. What would an extra $100 do when you start recruiting people? That's the mentality that the coach has. The CEO, on the flip side, you take it another step farther, because you're building a business. You're not just helping single people, you're helping people build a business. So if you have 5 challengers or 5 people that you want to bring into the business, What if you start looking for people who are a husband and wife and they want to do this together? You're helping 5 people build a business rather than just sell them a challenge pack. And then it's not what can an extra $100 do, it's what can an extra $500 do? What can extra $1,000 do? It's the focus of where you're putting the emphasis of things. Stress was something they talked about because I know we all feel stress, and it's so easy for us to burn out, especially if you're a chronic coach, because you always feel like you're on. You always feel like you have to check Facebook. You always have to feel like as soon as you get a message, you have to respond. So stress is not a bad thing. You just need to make sure you have the tools to make sure you know how to handle it. You have the support that you don't burn out, and you know how to overcome it so you're not just stressed all the time. The CEO, the stress for them, they have their blinders on. And it's not that you're ignoring everybody else. It goes back to that mindset of focus. You're focused on where you want to be. The outside stressors aren't going to attack you, because as long as you have the focus and you are working on what you are going to work on, the outside stuff isn't going to create as much stress for you. And stress isn't a bad thing, like I said, but you also have to remember that you're making progress. So you may feel like you can't get everything done, but that's okay. Focus on what you did get done, because those little steps that you're going to take are going to add up to big things. The last thing that really struck a chord with me was, as a CEO, you are building freedom and you are creating freedom for people. Especially when you're recruiting, you're talking about creating freedom of location. If you have a military person or a military spouse and they can't keep a job in one area because they're getting transferred every 2 years, you're creating freedom of time. The mother that wants to put her kids on the bus, the father who decides he doesn't need to work every weekend out of town. Financial freedom, paying off your house, paying for a new car, paying for your kids' college. The freedom of people. It's not going to the job because you have to go and work the grind 9 to 5 and you go to who you work for because that's who's there or who you're working with. You're building the freedom of choosing who is going to be on your team and who you're going to work with. And then the purpose, you're creating a freedom of purpose, because when you work for a 9 to 5 job, the purpose you have is to get your job done every day. The purpose we have as Beachbody coaches is to have a fulfilling life and to help others have those happy and fulfilling lives.
Okay. Hi guys, how is everybody? I'm going to talk about consistency and showing up for a few minutes. I don't think I'm going to take all 5 minutes because my notes got lost. The file crashed like literally 10 minutes ago, so that's what I've been trying to find. But I know what I want to say. So I think we all went into Summit, or I know for myself that I went into Summit hoping to find out what the secret was. But really the theme of every presentation that I went to was that there is no real secret. The secret to success of every coach and every business person that I heard speak was not that they were placed in an advantageous spot on their upline flag, or that they got lucky, or that their whole family loves drinking Shakeology and they signed them up as coaches. You can't be upset with someone else because this is your business and you have the power to make it boom, regardless of your situation. You can put in the hard work and you can put in the consistency. They all work hard. They all have schedules. They all show up every single day to their business, whether they're seeing a return on it or not. And they were all consistent. It depends on where you're at and where you want to be. I know we're all at different points right now, but if it's even a thought where you might want to grow a business in the future, you need to start treating it as such and showing up and being consistent. And somebody said something to the effect of, you'd never show up to your real job only 2 out of 5 days a week, you get fired. I'd never handed my plan book only once a month at school. So how could you just show up to your challenge group or only post about your positive experiences twice a week or every now and then, or only on the nights where the kids slept well, and then expect the people in your group or the coaches on your team to trust you and want to come to you as a mentor or a coach. So a few suggestions that I walked away with. were to be consistent with the times that you post in your challenge groups or on your like page or your personal page. If they're expecting, because it kind of sets the expectations up for everyone. So if they expect to see your post at around 9 o'clock every morning before work and around 9 o'clock every night after the kids go to bed, they won't be wondering if you've abandoned them or gone MIA during the day. They know that this isn't your full-time gig, and they respect that and your time, but you want them to know that they will hear from you and you will check in at some point throughout the day. So being consistent with the times you check in. A lot of people said making a schedule with a consistent day of the month for your coach sneak peek, for your free group, for your challenge groups. If you do a themed day of the week, like Friday Fit Tip or Celebrate Saturday, post it every Saturday, every Friday, regardless if anyone likes the post or comments on it. People are watching. In the beginning, I didn't really believe that when my coach said it, when Danielle said it to me, but it turns out it's true because I have posts that I make on my page and there's no action on it whatsoever. And then I'll hear a month later from somebody and, oh, that recipe that you posted, or I've been watching. It's kind of like stalkerish, but it's true. They do come back to you because you've been consistent. If you don't see the action on your post and you get discouraged and say, oh, I can't do this, then you're going to be inconsistent. And the people who are posting every day, those are the ones who seem and appear reliable. And you know that there are so many of us out there that you really want to set yourself apart and make sure that you come across as reliable and invested in yourself and your health and wellness and everybody else in your groups. Let's see. And whether they need it or want the help or the value that you're adding now, they'll know it's available to them and that they can come back to you later as a resource. So I thought that was really good. And we always stress about finding new people. Carl, in the opening ceremonies, he was telling us how there are 226 million people who are classified as obese by the census this year. That's a lot of people for us to reach. So consistency also means consistently finding new people and finding new ways to expand your network. It might be the same moms in that ballet class. So you have to go to, so maybe you become friends with them on Facebook and now you start going to those suggested friends and expanding your network there because it's still the same group of moms in that one little network, but you can start to branch out slowly and find those new people because when you consistently post about the value your journey is adding to your life, not just a sweaty selfie or a workout, but if you're posting what it's done physically, emotionally, mentally, in your relationships, for your kids, for your family, you're a better cook now, or you're a worse cook now, you drink shakes now, you drink your vitamins, all those things. If you show that it's a consistent lifestyle change and that it's become a part of you, the people who were following you before you even did this, just for pictures of your kids or pictures of your puppies or because you teach with them, they know you already and they know that that's genuine. So when they see you doing it consistently, they realize that it's not just a fad. It's not something you're doing for a week or a month and then going to, sorry, Chrissy, I'm at time. I didn't get the notification. But that was it. Consistency.
Hey guys, can everybody hear me? Yes. Okay. So I wanted to talk about empowering your leaders. I think a lot of us on this team experienced maybe not moving forward in our business this year, and so even before I went to Summit, I was kind of on this mission to figure out, how do I create leaders that want to work like I do? And, Melanie got up and talked about basically how she outworks everyone. It's about work ethic. She put in the work. She spent the hours learning when maybe other people were out partying. And I think that's really, really valid. And so a lot of what the speakers talked about was, attracting the kind of person that you want on your team. So sitting down and figuring out who, when you are trying to get coaches, who are you trying to get? Do you want somebody that's wishy-washy? Do you want somebody that has trouble committing? Or do you want somebody that's a hard worker, that's dedicated, that is not afraid to get on team calls? You need to start making your posts towards those people so that you attract them. And this means you may not recruit 5,000 coaches, but the one coach that you get that's the good hard worker is the one that's going to advance your business and grow your team. So you can't be looking to attract everyone. If you're looking to attract everyone, you're not going to get that rock star that's going to further your business. So how do you empower people to be leaders? Here's something that we struggle with on our team that's about to stop being a struggle for us. We've got me and we've got Tawny. We are both strong leaders on our team, and we have stayed together. We cannot do that anymore. And you cannot, as much as I don't want my team calls going from 15, 20 people to 2 people, you cannot do it. You have to empower your leaders to go be leaders. If you are a coach with even one coach underneath you, you should be having your own team calls. You are a leader. The minute that you get a coach underneath you, you are a leader and you should act like one. I started having team call. I broke off from Dana very, very quickly. I started having team calls when I had 2 coaches, and I was scared to death, but it forced me to learn how to become a leader. Because these coaches that you have underneath you that are new, they don't know what you're supposed to be doing. You can be learning together as you go and getting stronger. It's like having kids. Do you want your kids to leave you? No, but they need to go and they need to fly. And you have to let them fly. So some action things that you guys can do on your teams. First of all, if you're not having your own team call, you need to have it. And team leaders, you need to let them have it and not be mad that they're not getting on your call anymore. You started with 2 people on your team call. You can have a flux of 2 people coming on your team call as you create these leaders that are going to go out and change lives. So if you're not having a team call, have a team call with your team. They need to hear from you. They picked you as a coach. If you have people that are not yet ready to have their own team call, have them lead calls on your team call. It's a safe environment. You see, these people did 5-minute segments. Get them used to it so that they can then go on and lead their own team calls and be comfortable with it. But the people on my team have gotten very, very comfortable talking on calls because I've been like, hey, you go do this, you're comfortable with it. But now we're going to get even more uncomfortable. I'm going to have everybody on my team pick something they know nothing about, learn about it, and teach us all about it. Because the best way for you to learn is for you to teach it. So these are ways that you can teach your leaders to be leaders. Send them off and empower them instead of holding on to them and holding them back. That's all I've got. Tawny's up.
Awesome. Okay. Can you guys hear me all right? My connection's been in and out a little bit tonight. So I'm going to kind of piggyback a little on Melissa's stuff, but it's a mixture of what happened to me at Summit, what I was dealing with in my personal life, and my personal development that I'm in the middle of, which is the book Eat That Frog. So this is not really necessarily for people who classify them as hobby coaches. It's really geared toward the business builders, because if you're a hobby coach, it's give or take. You're doing this as a hobby, which means you could be dedicated to it one month and not the next. And that's why you chose that way. You're covering your shakes. You're either going to eventually turn into a business builder or you're going to stop doing this. So I understand that. So put on your business builder ears for a minute. So my title was either do it or don't. okay? Which really in Tawny language, the way I say it to myself in my mind is piss or get off the pot, because that always drives it home a little bit more for me. So here's what I'm going to say, much to the chagrin possibly of your upline coaches, but it empowered me. It didn't scare me, and I would like it to empower you. You don't have to do this. Like, that was one of the, you're not here for me. You're not here for Dana. You're not here for any of the other upline coaches. You are not bound and obligated to them. You will not die if you stop. You have a choice. You have a choice. You can quit. If you don't want to do this and it doesn't make you a failure, it doesn't make you a quitter, you know what it means? It means that you're not called to be an entrepreneur. It's okay. You can go work for someone else. You can make money somewhere else. You have a choice to be here. So if you're not choosing to walk away, then what are you doing here? And if you want to be a business builder, then you have got to do the work to make it happen, or you will be absolutely miserable, because you'll always be waiting for this payoff that's not going to come. It's just like Dana was talking about. She had to own her stuff as the leader of freaking, what, aren't you like a 4-star? And she had to own that she hadn't done what she needed to and move herself forward. So anybody at any place in this game can experience it and acknowledge, I haven't done the work that I needed to keep it moving forward, and recommit to getting back in the game of how they do that. Now, so Summit was a big deal for me because I'd been real pissed and my business hadn't been moving for a real long time. And I started getting real complainy and thinking, I'm here because of Christy. I'm here because she's my best friend and I'm supporting her, and this isn't really about me and blah, 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 blah. You got to shut that shit down. You got to turn it back onto yourself and say, I'm here because I want to be here. And Summit was a make or break for me, and it made me. It didn't break me. Okay, so it translates back to Eat That Frog. So if I say, okay, I am a business builder, I am committed to this, and I am going to see it through because I'm here for me and my why and my goals and my family and nobody else's. So how do I do that? That's where Eat That Frog has been coming in for me too, because I needed something tangible that said, then do this. So for me, I'm going to give it to you in a nutshell and a quick example. If you haven't read it yet, it's Eat That Frog. It's written by Brian Tracy. He also did the master, like the webinar 2 months ago. So this is the nutshell version. If you like how this sounds and you feel like it's applicable to you in some way, you need to go get the book and you need to do it for your personal development. But like, so what I say is, okay, I have a vision. In 5 years, what do I want my vision to be? I visualize it by saying, okay, in 5 years, I have a second car. I have bought a home and am not living in this condo. I have this much money in the savings account. Okay. And so in all those, when I wrote those down, I was consistently hitting Success Club 12 every month. Okay, I'm going to go fast. So then after you have that vision, you say, okay, well then how does that break down into activities? Okay, well, if I know I want to hit Success Club 12 every month, then I can go through activities to do that. But the main activity is what? Inviting. Right? Because if I can't follow up if I can't invite, and I can't make the sale if I can't follow up because I never invited. So inviting has to become my number one activity. Your frog is the activity you have to do first thing before anything else because it is the main activity that will move your business forward. Okay? So once you commit to that, thanks, Dana. So once you commit to that, then you have to say, okay, then if inviting is my one thing, I have to make sure that happens every day. So then you have to get technical with what it takes to make that happen. I'm almost done. So you say, what has to happen to make that happen? If I want to hit Success Club 12, I need 120 invites sent out because you get 1 yes for every 10 invites. Okay. So that breaks down to 120 on a week of 4 weeks. Do the math. So that means if I break that down in 4 weeks, I've got to invite 30 people a week to try and hit that goal. And so you give yourself, you literally backtrack and backtrack and backtrack until you find the exact activities that you need to make your goals happen. And so that's it. If you're going to do it, and do the math to figure out what it takes to get you there. That's all.
All right, of course I have to go after that. But mine's nice and simple anyway. So, taking everything you learned from everybody, what's that going to get you? It can get you where I was this year, where Danielle, she was there with me, Trudy, and Alicia was there. So if you become 1 star or higher, you get to walk across the stage at Summit. So just think, all right, you want to have your big, you want to advance, you want to be a business builder, but it's also nice to have the recognition, right? So basically, in front of the whole football stadium, you get to stand in the back, which you sweat to death in Tennessee, but you even get to meet everybody back there, which was pretty damn cool. And then they announce you're a star, and you walk out across the whole football field, and everybody cheers, and everybody's on their phone going live. But it's really cool, and it's something that you definitely want to do. You have to be 1 star or higher for that, and hopefully they don't raise that ever. And another really cool thing, actually maybe even cooler than walking out, is if you're either be 5 star and above or Success Club 5 or 10 Legends. So that's 24 months straight of Success Club. You actually get to sit in the football field, like right in the front with all like the elite coaches and the top 10 and everything during the whole ceremony, the whole like thing in the field, the main group. Next year, I don't know if it's a football field, wherever it's going to be. And then they just call out whoever it is, and you stand up, and they recognize you. But even more than that, that was pretty cool, too. But it was just cool to be, like, right up front. Like, everybody's all on the sides and fighting for spots and could hardly see, and you were seriously, like, right up in front and center. Another cool part about that is we got to use a quick little bathroom in the back and totally ran into Autumn and got a really good picture with her because as they walk off stage, we were right there. So cool. So you have to listen to what everybody says, grow your business by what you just heard that they did in Summit, and you can walk across that stage and meet all them in the back and all the other really cool Beachbody celebrities and do really good. That's it.
You're so cute, Steph.
My Beachbody celebrities.
And you look very pretty tonight. You have your eyes all done. It looks beautiful. All right, guys. Well, I just wanted to thank everybody that spoke tonight. Leslie, Lindsay, Christine, Maureen, Nikki, April, Anna, Melissa, Jennifer, Tawny, who dropped the mic like 3 times, Stephanie, and Christy, of course, for not only speaking, but for putting our little video together, setting up the schedule, and being the time watcher on this phone call, because had she not had a timer set, we'd probably still be on the 3rd speaker. So thank you, Christy, for, of course, taking the lead with that, as you do for so many things. You're definitely amazing. Just to recap real quick, Summit's awesome. Get your ticket. You will regret this decision next year if you do not go on to coachsummit.com right now and buy your ticket. I promise you, you will regret your decision. And what else? Every other Monday night, we're going to be doing a large team call with a training every other Monday night. Whether you have 1 call coach or 10 coaches, like Christy said, that's your time to get on and lead your own team calls. You want to train a little? Fine, train a little. You guys want to have sessions where you figure stuff out, you know, talk, recap, regroup, whatever it is, that's your Monday nights or whatever nights, that's your nights to do your own team calls. But I really want to take advantage of the fact that we have such an amazing team, that we have such wonderful speakers, that when we're united, we are strong and we are amazing and we are good together. So I do want to take advantage of that and get together every other Monday and do something like this, because I love you guys and I love seeing you guys, and I feel like together we are better. And yes. So thank you, everyone who got on tonight. Thank you again, everyone who spoke. I will get this recording downloaded and up on our team page probably in the morning, because I'm tired and going to bed. So good night. I will speak to you all soon. And go buy those tickets if you have not. And commit to a workout and post it on your page today. Okay. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.